Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Since he's here and he's come and gone, I guess we can do some spoilers on him. Everyone knows the truth about Santa Claus, I should hope. And that's the dumbass Air Force shot him down in 1962. They didn't find any reindeer or sack or a jolly old fat elf, but they did find a burnt-out sleigh, and they did take that back to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and it's in a museum there on Wright-Pat.
Yeah, and the government wants to fool you, making you think that Santa's still alive, when actually they're the ones coming out and putting the toys out every year. These are government-issued toys.
Well, what
folks.
happened was...
They've invaded your homes. There's recording devices in every toy you purchased this year. Every one.
Anyway.
Or received. They're listening.
Yeah, and they took over ever since.
It's all a scam.
But, I mean, I guess, Santa Claus was never really never really bothered me. The only time it really bothered me is when I read a book called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And this is where Santa started to boggle in my mind. Because there's a point in that book where the Queen's power starts diminishing. And because Aslan's on the move, as everyone's saying, all this, Aslan's on the move, And then all of a sudden, Father Christmas shows up and gives everybody their weapons, Thank you, Santa Claus, for a dangerous weapon to a child, a minor. But here's a sword, kid. Go nuts, And so, and he shows up and he's saying, "Oh yeah, I wasn't able to get into Narnia for all this time because the Ice Queen was keeping out, using her magic to keep me out." And so this kind of boggled my mind a little bit because the first thing that popped in my head was like, how many realms does Santa have to deliver presents to? Okay, because that's number one. All right. Now, and if he has to go to like Narnia, if he has to deliver to Narnia, does he have to go to Oz or Neverland? I mean, how many Gentiles do you suppose are in Neverland? I mean, Peter, Wendy, and the kids, they were taken from England. What are the chances that they're Gentiles who practice celebrate Christmas? So while they're in Neverland, shouldn't Santa Claus deliver on Christmas to them? And what about the Lost Boys? I'm sure there's a certain percentage of Lost Boys and pirates that have,
I can debunk the whole Neverland concept, though.
Why?
Time doesn't pass in Neverland. It's never Christmas.
Nobody ages.
So
time doesn't pass. Okay, that's a good argument.
So
well, what about Oz?
No, Oz, I can't. I got nothing for that. You're right. Yeah, the Munchkins, do they count as Gentiles? Do they get toys?
I don't see much about religion. There's plenty of culture.
Or maybe Oz is where he's recruiting the elves.
Could be.
What if they're not elves at all? What if they're Munchkins that have been kidnapped by Santa?
Refugee Munchkins?
Yeah.
We're sick of the Wicked Witches.
Right, so they ran to the North Pole.
And it's argued that Santa is magic, too. So could he be from Oz? Okay, Kris Kringle. We're on to you.
The Wicked Witch of the North.
That's what I mean. It's like, that's magic. Magic. Yeah, he could be a Wicked Witch of the North. Interesting.
Which would lead me to believe that
the Good Witch of the North.
Witch of the South.
Good Witch of the South? They're both poles. Who cares? And then there's the second question of the Father Christmas in Narnia question. All right, they spent this entire time in Narnia. Years and years and years. They grew up, had their own lives. I'm sure they banged other people in Narnia. Mm-hmm. Did whatever grown-ups do.
Shit got roll
in
Narnia.
And then they're chasing this white stag through the forest and end up coming back to the same time that they left in their same bodies. So no time passed in their world. But during that time that they were in there, Father Christmas came and showed up and gave people presents. Did he leave? Did he go to Oz or wherever else he has to go and deliver presents? Or
does he use the time slip to his advantage to make it all possible?
Or is he like overdue? When he's overdue, as soon as he's like, yeah, I was supposed to be here, but some magic was locking me out. And say some Wicked Witch of the West was using magic to keep Santa out of Oz, and he was supposed to be there on December 25th, but Dorothy comes in and burns, throws water on the witch.
Right.
And then but that was on December 38th. They have a different calendar there.
Of course.
Yeah. And so that's when he shows up and gives people presents saying, "Hey, sorry I'm late. The Wicked Witch was keeping me out." So I think that's how it's done. But no time passed in Oz, and at no point not in Narnia. No time passed at all in Narnia, and Christmas happened there. but it didn't happen in their world. So I guess it had to be that he was overdue, and not just that Santa is constantly hopping around delivering gifts to different realms.
Right.
You know, because if you think about the infinite possibility of realms, you know, and so it could be like December 24th is when he goes to Narnia. December 25th is when he hits Earth. And December 26th, Boxing Day, is when he hits Oz. But he doesn't go to Neverland because it's outside the time stream.
Right. The time doesn't pass there. Time is frozen, so.
But you can sail to it. That's weird.
Hmm.
I'll never know how Captain Hook got there.
Well, second star to the right, straight on till the morning. That's how to get there. They're pretty clear about the directions in all versions of the story.
Do you think that they probably like captured a bunch of fairies?
I'm thinking that it's more like
tortured them for fairy dust so that they can coat their entire ship.
No, I think if it's more like I think that it's more the whole story is more like a misunderstood alien interpretation. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. Yeah, that's a navigational entry right there.
And so, Peter Pan has superluminal flight or something like that.
Something along those lines. He's some kind of alien with like a permeable skin that allows him to fly.
In space and survive at light speed and travel to other planets like that.
Yeah, he's an bidimensional being.
That's awesome. That's a better idea.
Would have to be. I mean, nothing else makes sense. Oh, he's a boy that stays young forever. No, he's an energy being.
Okay,
I think
we put my mind to rest a little bit with this. Okay, I feel a little bit better. I was confused for a while. Like most of the day, I was thinking about this. It was boggling my mind.